The term friend zone comes from the show Friends. In season 1, Joey told Ross,
"You waited too long to make your move, and now you're in the friend zone."
which, now I think about it, there was no friend zones before that, right? Meet Ludwig van Beethoven, the OG of, I'm sorry, what? Okay, so this motherfucker fell hard for his student Giulietta. That's Giulietta with a G. And like any self-respecting creep, he dedicated his famous Moonlight Sonata to her. That's Piano Sonata number 14 in C-sharp minor, not... But here's the kicker. Our boy Lud was so deep in the friend zone, he literally went deaf. His ears just couldn't take it anymore of Giulietta's "you're such a good friend" crap, so they just noped out from the scene. Jewel went on to marry some fancy pants count, while Ludwig never married, never had children, and died alone. And now some trivia to verify whether we're on the same page. What is that one place that you can enter and exit with a loaded gun and creamy pants? The friend zone. The true friend zoner is actually quite a depressing case of catch-22. As a friend zonee, you refuse to accept that your romantic chances are non-existing. Yet you keep showering the person with gifts and attention. The friend zoner loves all the attention and fuels the false expectations, and there is no way around it. Unless you become attractive and develop a nice old personality. Let's have a quick recap. It usually starts with one human developing feelings for another, followed by hours of confession rehearsals, battling a dreadful fear of rejection. This can take anywhere from 1 month to
5 years later.
5 or 10 years. When you finally find what feels like the worst possible moment to confess, you slur out your feelings. Option A, she or he says, "Ooh, yeah, but aren't we better as friends?" Option B, the feelings turn out mutual and you guys live a happily ever after. But let's not kid ourselves here and get a little more realistic outcome. Option C, you actually confess to yourself in the mirror. You are a good friend and you're gonna stay a virgin and should for the rest of your life. Speaking of virgins, meet Queen Elizabeth, the first one. She wasn't named the Virgin Queen just for shits and giggles. Her special man was Robert Dudley, or more accurately, her permanent friend without any benefits. Rob had been in the royal friend zone for his entire life. In the end, both Liz and Rob lived happily ever after. Liz kept ruling England with an iron fist and untouched lady bits. Rob? Well, he died as he lived, blue-balled and hoping. But if you never experienced that gut punch feeling of your crush calling you buddy, don't feel discouraged, guys. There's many more zones for you to explore, and there's also a perfect chance to employ my graph drawing abilities. We start with the friend zone nemesis, the dating zone. This is that special zone where men and women interests meet at last. The zone where caterpillars turn into butterflies, where people ignore all the most annoying personality traits in order to spend another minute with their loved ones. You're gonna have to move out of here somewhere. And the logical next zone is an island that is especially popular among 30-year-olds. It's called the marriage zone, which is quite self-explanatory, really. Just mind that its size depends on whether you're a man or a woman. I'm not suggesting anything, okay? I'm just stating facts. The space between the marriage zone and the end of the dating zone is sometimes referred to as waiting for the proposal zone. Not to mix it with the waiting for the right moment zone. That is an integral part of the friend zone, obviously. Well, there are a lot of zones for you to fuck around in. The therapy zone, the meeting the parents zone, the fart zone, the casual zone. All these extra zones are part of a larger dating zone and are sometimes referred to as the getting fat zone. Here you start searching for some strange hobbies to take your mind away from your partner's obvious mommy issues. You became a cat person with a cat allergy, and you stop caring about your physical appearance, and then you break up. Although before that, you have 3 zones to attend: the guilty, the exile, and its complicated zones. The it's complicated zone is kind of clear. I mean, it's complicated. I mean, you get what I mean. As for the guilty zone, you're kinda not dating, kinda do. Also kind of feeling guilty for hanging out in the limbo. But there is something about your personality that still attracts your ex, which lands you occasional lunches and movie nights. But not more than that, because the partner will feel guilty about themselves for a couple weeks. Unless you are Brad Pitt. Or you have a cute puppy. Oh, look at him. But if your incentive to work on your one pack is near zero, then you just kind of carry on with carrying on. You get into the friend zone, and consequently, the dead zone. Nothing happens here. Nothing. And on this positive note, we enter the exile zone. Very similar to the guilty zone. You're not together nor apart, but you still miss your ex, and still willing to put the hours in working out and fixing your behaviors to potentially get the f out or get back to the proposal zone. But don't get too clingy here, guys. You start stalking and sending pathetic texts at night, and the next thing you know it, you are in the creep zone. Nobody likes to creep, and there's no way out of it, unfortunately. Unless you're in the sibling zone. Oh no. In which case, good luck with your teeth.